Good evening, everybody. Sorry for a little bit of delay. We were just kind of working through a couple of notes, but I've got a guest today. She's going to talk. I'm going to talk. We're going to talk about the key. So here are the cities that we're going to try to get through. We may not get through all of them, but we're going to be discussing Allen, Frisco, possibly Anna if we get to it. And then my guest is going to be speaking a little bit about the city of Louisville, Flower Mound, and Highland Village if we can get time for one of those three. So our goal is to get through all 6 cities. We're going to let you know information about the schools. We're going to let you know information. I've got tax information for these areas. We're going to let you know what things you can do around these cities. We're going to give you an idea about new construction in some of these areas. Going to give you a little bit of drive time information, and we're going to also touch on home values as well. So like what the entry level is, what types of homes you can find in these specific areas, just to help you out. Now, just as a precursor to this, you're going to want to make sure that any pricing information that we do give is only specific to this day and time. If you're watching this on replay, it may have gone up, it may have gone down. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this. And as always, if you have questions, we are going to be allowing for questions at the very end. So come with your questions about these cities if you're trying to learn a little bit more. And I'm going to have a special banner to kind of remind you as we go through, so that if you do have any questions about specific areas, please put them in the chat. And as always, giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel. Always, I'm very thankful for that and for those that are watching. My special guest is from the other side of town. This is where I used to operate and do a majority of my business, was in the Flower Mound, Louisville side of town. My family and I used to live in Louisville. We were there for 5 happy years. And then my husband got a job transfer and we moved over to the McKinney side of town. So I would like to introduce to you my good friend, Martha Hughes. And Martha, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in real estate.
Well, I've been in real estate for 10 years, and I've lived in the Flower Mound area since 1996, so 25 years. I've seen this place grow like a lot. And yeah, 10 years with Keller Williams. So Rebecca and I used to be in the same office. So that's how we met. Yes.
Awesome. So 10 years of experience with Flower Mound. So if you are really wanting to know more about that city, I'm sure Martha has the inside scoop. So you're not going to want to miss when she talks about Flower Mound. But to kind of get us started, we are going to start with a city that's just south of me, where I live. My brother lives there. We visit the city pretty frequently, but it is the city of Allen. So I want to kind of share. So before we talk about the schools, I know it just kind of popped up there. Let's kind of take a look at the demographics of Allen, so to speak. So let me kind of go here and maneuver, finagle. So let's look at the city of Allen as a whole. So if you look as to where some of the boundary lines are, you're going to kind of notice right away that the city of Allen is just south of 121. 75 runs straight through the middle of the city. And it's really not too terribly large. I would say it's probably smaller than Frisco, definitely smaller than McKinney, smaller than Plano as well. So it is a smaller community in that sense. So if you are looking for a little bit more intimate, a little bit more smaller community, Allen, it has been highly rated as a very popular place to raise a family. As you can see, we've got the Twin Creeks Golf Club that's located in Allen. We've got a couple of parks that are really popular that we're going to talk about a little bit later. And then we have several shopping opportunities that if you've never been and you live in the area that you should take advantage of. So that'll kind of give everyone a brief overview of Allen. The population of Allen is about 84,000 people, and that was in 2019, so that was a couple of years ago. They're estimating it, as it looks like, to be about 105 people now. So it has grown. Now with the boundary lines too, you'll notice on the screen here that you'll see Lovejoy High School, because parts of Allen that are especially on this borderline right here, this edge, will actually be zoned to Lovejoy High School. And for those of you who watched the last live stream, we talked about Fairview, and we talked about how you could still be living in Fairview or living in Allen, and your kids may go to Lovejoy High School. So just kind of keep that in mind for the boundary lines. Also here too, excuse me, there are parts of Allen or parts of McKinney that are right here kind of towards the southern border here that are actually zoned to Allen ISD as well. So even though these are the boundary lines for the city, that doesn't necessarily mean that the school boundary lines are going to be exactly the same there. Now, if we look at the district information, oh my goodness, there must be something going on here. So they have, it looks like they said 18 preschools, 19 elementary schools. Now, I do want to, some of this information is a little bit misleading, and here's where I'm going to share this with you. If you notice, well, so Allen has very high rated elementary schools, most of them 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So you'll notice that. This one's a 4. Alton Bolt. There's probably a reason why that one is rated a little bit lower. This one's a 5. So this, and then 6 is average. So for Allen as a whole, as a district, it's doing really, really well with its students. I will tell you though that, so middle school wise, if we look at that and get rid of the elementary school, we also have pretty highly ranked middle schools as a whole, 5 being the average, and the rest of them all being above average, according to greatschools.org. Now, just remember that if you are looking at great schools, that this information is all based off of the data that is taken once the kids take the test. So once they take the STAR test, which is here in Texas, we don't have the other, what is it the other states have, Martha?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, it's there's something, the core, Common Core, right? Other states have Common Core. If you're in the chat, let us know. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I only lived in Texas, so I have no idea what happens outside of Texas.
Yeah, she knows all about Texas. I believe it's Common Core, but here in Texas, we do not have Common Core. We have our own set of curriculum. So that's something that parents that are relocating here from other areas need to be aware of, that thing. Now, here is the misleading part. And this says middle. If you notice, even though, let me get rid of the middle. Okay. It says Allen High School, Lowry Freshman Center, and then we have Pat Dillard Special Achievement Center. Now, aside from Pat Dillard, which I'm not 100% sure, excuse me, what this is, I'd have to click on it, get a little bit more information, do a little bit more research. But Allen as a whole, as a city, only has one high school. Okay. Let me repeat that. Allen only has one high school for all of its kids, right? So that is good and bad. So Martha, what would be a reason why that would be a bad thing? We'll start with the bad.
Well, I personally think that in a big school, kids get a little lost. Like, I think Frisco has a better system in that they have smaller campuses of high schools than a big school. I mean, we'll be talking about Flower Mound as well, but Flower Mound has 2 big ones, and they're really big too. So I do think that some kids need a little more attention, and they're like a number if it's such a big campus. It's like a little tiny college, really. So
Exactly.
I like smaller schools. But everybody then
Right.
the other side of it is like, well, they do really well in band and sports because they have the means, right? So it's depending on what your kid needs, really.
I think too, the other thing on the other side of it, it's if you have a really good athlete, let's say you have a student that's just excels, right? And you want them to be showcased as top of the top. I mean, I would want my kid to go to Allen High School
Yep.
because if
Yeah.
I'm on the A team for Allen, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to be that's
Yeah.
the only school in Allen. So I'm going to be showcased, I'm going to be played, I'm going to
Yeah.
be, I'm going to be marketed better probably than a school
Mhm.
that has 10 high schools like Frisco does,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So
Exactly
it's
right.
totally different there.
Depending
Now,
on what
it is
your
set up,
kid needs. Yeah.
do what?
Depending on what your student needs, your kid needs, what they
Right.
like. If they're, like you said, if they're sports all the way, then yeah, big school is the way to
Sports,
go.
band, anything extracurricular, like
Mhm.
you are, it's like the top of the top, the cream of the crop,
Yep.
right? If you
Yes.
are in that top percentage in Allen, I mean, you're the top of who knows, 5,000. Somebody from Allen needs to come in and correct us. I don't know how many
Well,
students. I'd be curious to know how many students are on that campus. It may say on the website. I have to go back and look at grade schools because sometimes they have that.
it might, but I think most of those big high schools, well, they have 800 graduating seniors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now 800 plus 800 plus 800 plus 800, it's like, yeah, close to 4,000 students through, or
Right, for
somewhere around there.
freshmen through
Yep.
now, they do have a freshman center, so that's
Yes.
something I do want to point out. They do separate the freshmen in Allen from the sophomore,
Mhm.
junior, and senior classes,
Yep.
and I do think that it is set up just like a college campus to where if you're wanting to go the track for the medical track, right, you're going to be in this part of the campus for
Mhm.
most of your classes. If you're going to go the engineering track, you're going to be in this part of the Allen campus.
Yep.
Or you'll be bused from one campus to another. I do know when I was talking to a friend that works for Allen ISD, she was talking a little bit about that and how they've purchased more land to make
Mhm.
that a little bit bigger, to where they're not running out of space.
Yep.
But to go from like 19 elementary schools all the way down to one big high school campus, like you said, that's a lot of students in one place, for
Mhm.
good, for better, for bad, for worse, right?
Mhm. Yep.
That's how Allen ISD is set up. So just kind of be aware if you are thinking about moving to Allen and you do have kids, that's a very important thing that you need to look at and look into and consider. Um, when you go actually visit the campuses, I think you're going to get a totally different perspective. So don't let that deter you from, oh, I'm now afraid of Allen because it just has one high school. Don't let fear get in your way of finding out good answers to those questions. So I do want to encourage people to, if they do have a high schooler or a freshman that's, they're relocating here, they're trying to get a fresh start, right? You want to make sure that you go visit these schools and visit these places, because that's where you're going to really get, how is my child going to fit in here or not? Is this really going to be the city that I decide to hold my hat? Because usually when people relocate here and they make a purchase, I would recommend holding that house for 3 to 5, years plus, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for you to make a purchase right out of the gate, especially for those relocating. So just a heads up about schools for Allen. They only have one high school, but they do take a lot of pride in that one high school too. And they have one, they just built a new stadium, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. So let me kind of share with you why so many people do enjoy moving to Allen. Excuse me. So it's ranked on niche.com as the number 5 best places to raise a family in Collin County. So I'm in Collin County, and Martha is in Denton County. So you'll get to see differences there. As far as an overall, they've rated it an A+. It's a suburb of Dallas. Population's right around 101, which we already kind of talked about. There is a lot of ownership versus rent in Allen as far as the city is concerned. And you can kind of see the outlines that we talked about. And we're going to kind of go over places and things to do in just a little bit. So best suburbs to raise a family in Texas, number 23. That's really good. Best suburbs to live, best places with the best public schools. So, I mean, Allen is a very top rated school. So expect a high level of education within the Allen ISD. As far as crime stats, here are a couple of those compared to the national rate, which is good. And then you can also see the level. I love niche.com because it does break down a lot of the information for you, just kind of on a infographic level, so to speak. So it tells you how many of the residents have master's degrees, how many have a bachelor's. So it kind of breaks down the population of its residents, the median household income for Allen, top public schools. Now you'll notice Lovejoy High School, that's not a part of Allen ISD. That's a part of, Fairview's main school district. So because Allen does border Fairview, you are going to see Lovejoy ISD as an option for your kids to go if you live in that part of Allen that's closest to Lovejoy. And then we've got other places like Allen. We're going to talk about Flower Mound for sure. We've talked about McKinney and other shows in the past, and we haven't hit on Capel just yet, but that's going to be coming up probably in a later show. So you have to come back and watch that for sure. Everything is relatively close. That's another point too I would like to make. So let's look at commute time. So if someone lives in Allen, so let's see, go to Google Maps. So let's say we're going to go from Allen, heart of Allen, and we're wanting to go to downtown Dallas. Oops. Because 75 runs straight down the middle, right? If you're in traffic, because this is rush hour right now, it's going to take you about 40 minutes to get all the way into downtown at this hour, which is 6:24 p.m. It does have some alternative routes. It's a minute faster if you take the toll road here, and then 38 minutes if you cut through another part of the toll, which is Dallas North Tollway. This is 75 to 35. It's 46 minutes if you don't want to sit in traffic, I guess. Downtown's usually really busy around this time of day anyway. And then you'll notice as you go through Richardson, like right here and right here with Plano, there are some slow spots there. But 39 minutes to downtown. If you work in downtown Dallas, if you work remotely, you don't have to worry about this. Now, the other, I guess, downtown, so to speak, a lot of businesses are relocating closer to
Frisco.
Yeah, right here. We'll put in let's see. We want to go to, let's say, Grandscape is pretty close. My husband's office was pretty close to that as well. What's the headquarters? It's over there. Granite. It's close to Granite Park in Plano. So North Plano, from Allen to North Plano, you're looking at 18 minutes around this time of day, taking 121, the tollway. If you don't want to take the tollway, a little bit less, but not much. And so the tollway does have side streets if you want to avoid the tolls along the way. So that's really nice. And I'm sure you could cut across some of these streets too and just, kind of sit in traffic that way to avoid the tolls if that is your ultimate goal. But if you were to work in, a place close to 121 and the Dallas North Tollway, you could get there pretty quickly. A 20-minute commute without sitting in traffic is pretty darn good for this coming from this side of town. Like I said, it all kind of depends on where you work. Those are kind of the two big business hubs. at least on this side of town. Where are some other places that people work, I guess, on the west side of town? Martha, what did you
Well,
say?
that would be downtown Fort Worth. I think they have good
Okay.
amount of
Jobs,
offices there,
offices, yeah.
and maybe around Grapevine, or when the 114 close to
Oh, yeah.
South Lake,
Yeah.
that area might be another one too.
Yeah, there is quite a few
Hmm.
headquarters over there in South
Hmm.
Lake, which isn't too terribly far from your side of town.
Hmm.
Or if, like you said, they need to commute to downtown Fort Worth,
Yeah,
it's not going to be
not that
as
bad.
far from
Hmm.
your perspective.
Yeah. Yes.
So if someone does have a job probably closer to Plano or downtown, I would say maybe this side of town is probably a little bit better
Hmm.
for them commute wise.
Yes.
So I just want to kind of keep that into perspective as we go. So that way people can kind of see, yeah, if I do work in downtown Fort Worth, probably not McKinney is where I want to live,
No, not really.
or Allen.
No.
All
You're
right,
going
let's
to be
talk a little
spending
bit.
a whole hour in the car for sure.
Yeah, a whole hour. That's not going to be fun at all. So let's talk a little bit about some things that people can do. We'll start in Allen. Let me kind of get over here. So Waters Creek does have its own shopping mall. This is a relatively new mall. The creek runs right through it. So obviously it's Waters Creek. There's lots of new restaurants that have opened up during COVID and a little bit past COVID. So you can kind of see what's over there. Now the Allen premium outlets are probably the largest outdoor outlet center that we have in North Texas, because I don't know of any other place that has an outlet mall that's this big. I mean, they've got everything. They've got the brand names. They've even got like they've got a Nike store, a Reebok store. So it's not just like a generic, this is where you get all the shoes. It's like you can find any brand. Will probably have an outlet at the Allen Premium Outlets. So it's a great place, and like someone's saying, great place to do all your Christmas shopping, right?
Mhm.
It is outside, so it's not an indoor mall. So if it is raining or if there's bad weather, it's probably not the most ideal place to try to go. But if it's nice weather outside and you can go walking around, it's a really good shopping experience. The Allen Event Center is also a popular place that they use, sports arenas, stadium, conventions. It looks like there's several hockey games that are played there as well. I think I've been there. They may have like hockey camps and stuff for my kids that my husband sent them to. From this picture, just looks really familiar. Let's see. It's got a couple of photos here.
Mhm.
Go away.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like, okay, so this is kind of what the inside of the arena looks like. Oh, it looks like they've had, Disney on
Mhm.
Ice there too, hockey games.
Mhm.
So that's really neat. And I think that might be, I don't know if that's high school level. I'd have to double check. It's either high school or collegiate, maybe, because there's no professional team that I know of that's there in Allen
Mhm.
specifically.
Mhm.
Um, Now, I will say that I've been to Celebration Park and it is amazing. If you've never been in the summertime, it's really nice to go over there. They've got a lot of covered pavilions out there, and they have this splash pad, which is very, very popular um, for the kids. They've got beautiful walking trails with fountains and everything, too. What is this? I clicked on something on accident. Gallery. Oh, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. I think, oh, there's just two photos.
Yeah, there's just two photos.
Okay. Well, they have like all of the designs are in primary colors. So you'll see like red, blue, green, yellow, purple, orange. You'll see that kind of all throughout the park. Like there's this section is red. There's another section over here that's yellow. And they've got, some pretty nice facilities as far as public restrooms. Some of the grassy spaces are fabricated. Like it's like the golf turf instead of the actual grass. Um, but it's a really nice park. If you've never been, take your family. It's really nice. So the Eagle Stadium is the brand new stadium that they have. There's a couple of pictures of the marching band and football team and drill team. Looks like there's 8 photos, but this is their main stadium that they use for sure for their high school games. And there's the high school band, it looks like, and the drill team and all of that. So that's all about those pictures. And then I've never been to Nine Band Brewery. But I want to say I've seen some of their beers in some of the local like Market Streets grocery stores that we have over here on this side of town. So yeah, I think I've met one of the owners to that one too. So it looks like, let's see here, 9. So it looks like you might be able to visit. I would think either that or they, yeah, that's their actual brewing facility. And I've seen, oh, I tried that one. Yes. So I did see this one in like a Market Street. I might have the owners out. They have some pretty good flavors if you're into the craft beer thing. And it looks like they do have a facility there with live music and where people can sit and eat and drink. So that's 9 band. No wonder. Okay, so maybe they do have live music. Ian did a good job of. Okay, so it looks like you can go on tours there too. So that's good to know as well. So if you're into the brewery thing, that would be good. I've never been to this one. This looks like their recreation center. I've never been over there because we just go to the one in McKinney usually. Now I have been to the station park, and this is really cool. Now I haven't been to this part of it. It is a very large park. My family and I will go and we'll take our bikes out to this, and they actually have like an underpass under some of the railroad tracks and some of the like you'll see lots of nature, waterfalls. They also have like you can go underneath the highway. So they have like an underpass where you can walk, jog, you're pushing a kid in a stroller kind of thing. Or you're on a bicycle. So they have some really nice trails. They also have at the station park, they have baseball facilities too there. So I've seen, my kids haven't played baseball, but they have some nice facilities there. Haven't been to the community theater. Let's see. Top Golf is also in Allen too. They have a movie theater just like any other city would have. I don't know about this hydro wakeboard park. It says water jet skiing. I'd have to check it out to really know what it is. Sounds like a lot of fun in the summer. And they've got their own nauditorium. Instead of auditorium, it's nauditorium. It looks like you can get probably, with a lot of these places, you can probably get like a membership. You don't necessarily have to live in Allen to take part in some of these activities, these nautical activities. But this might also be where their swim team practices, because I know some of these facilities will be used by the district as well. I know that was very popular when we lived in Louisville. They had a nauditorium as well. They called it something different though. Let's see. Penn Stack is also a very popular bowling alley, movie theater, eat pizza kind of place. They've got the Twin Golf Club that's over there. They have a Jump Street. Let's see. The Play Street Museum is also there. That's just a regular chain now. So if you see that in Allen, it's not really too special. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much kind of the gist. If we let me kind of look at the map here really quick. If I just go to, I don't want directions. Let's see. Google. We're going to go to Allen. Go back to the map. So if you notice, they've got a couple of nature preserves and parks that they've got. There's where Celebration Park is right here, really close to where Fairview is. There's the station park. They do have a couple of hospitals close by. And then I haven't been to Spirit Park yet, but I'm sure it's nice. But yeah, I mean, we got one golf course. So not as much green as McKinney. They have like 4 or 5 golf courses, but you still have the one golf course, and you have the convenience of McKinney and other cities right at your fingertips.
Really close.
I think I'm finished. Oh, pricing. We want to talk about home prices in Allen. Let's see, Realtor.com. All right. So I did just get a client of mine in a cute little house that was like 1,300 square feet or 1,500 square feet. So there's a lot of these cute little established neighborhoods. They'll have a little bit bigger lots, but you can still find very affordable housing in Allen. And this is, relatively newer construction. We're not talking about houses in the 50s, but most of Allen was probably really established in, I would say there's a lot of homes in the 90s, a lot of homes some in the 80s, some in the 70s. But I would say majority of Allen was probably built out right around the 90s, 2000s. And you'll see the style. Like this is very popular for a house that was built in the 2000s. This one obviously is a little bit older in age. This one was probably built in the 90s. But as you can see, I mean, pricing, $400,000. I mean, this one looks nice, so I would probably buy it. This one's not as nice, but look at this, $269,000 for 50. But see, it's 1,500 square feet. So this picture makes it look bigger, right, than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And the lot is really small. That's a tiny lot. But still, I mean, there's lots of affordability. There's nice luxury properties in Allen. So I feel like Allen has a good range of homes. So if you are looking at making a purchase, I know, I'm trying to take this off. If you are looking at trying to make a purchase in Allen, you're going to find anywhere from affordable, cute little houses all the way up to, I mean, we have $1 million luxury properties. There are some properties, I would say the largest lot size that I've seen for Allen is probably an acre, but most of it's going to be like half an acre to an acre, kind of that threshold. And it's only going to be certain neighborhoods. There are several master plan communities. Star Creek is a very popular master plan community over there in Allen. It's where my brother lives. Lots of things to do, lots of community activities and community to build there in Allen. So I think that's another reason why that people like Allen so much. So,
yep.
New construction, there's not a whole lot. Just want to throw that out there. It's pretty landlocked. There are some places, and there are a couple of 55 plus communities there that are new construction that are starting. But I would say for the most part, it's you're not going to find a whole lot of new construction there just because it's so landlocked, built out.
Yep.
All right. Next city. All right. So what city do you want to share with us about next?
Let's do Flower Mound, I think.
All right. Flower Mound. Why do people call it Flower Mound?
Well, I guess there's a mound that has flowers, and I guess that's where they started the town. I don't know, but it's there and nobody can touch it. So
there is, because there is an actual mound that has flowers on it.
Yeah. It has some bluebonnets. Nobody can cut them. Nobody can touch them. So I guess that's why they called it Flower Mound. I don't know.
You can't touch them, but it's there.
It's there. Nobody can touch it or build on it or anything. It's just everything around it. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to see where in Flower Mound the actual mound is. But just to kind of take a look as to where this city is located.
Mm-hmm.
So we were here. Where did we go?
Yeah.
We
Allen,
were here in
right there.
Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now we're on the northwest side of town, closer to Flower Mound. Right over here. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
long and skinny,
Yep.
right next to Lake Grapevine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do like to be close to a lake, you definitely want to be in Flower Mound.
Yeah, because there's Lake Grapevine and there's also Lake Louisville that's really big.
Yeah.
So there's two lakes that are really close that have a lot of lake sports, right?
Yeah.
And, and it's a nice town. It's a really nice city. Um, the right now the medium houses are around above 300,000 in Flower Mound. I don't think you can find a house for under 350 in Flower Mound right now.
Yeah.
Uh, there, it's grown also a lot. There's also 55 plus communities, like one or two that have newer construction.
Mhm.
Most houses are were built in 1980s. Well,
Okay.
they started in 1980s and 1990s, 2000. That's when, I mean, in the
Yeah,
2000s,
it's a
there was a lot
majority.
of new construction in Flower Mound. Yeah.
And then you have the old pockets too, right? Because it looks like
Yes.
there's one
Oh, yeah.
here
Yeah.
that's
There's
pending.
some. Yeah. But those are 1980s. I mean, I think
Yeah, this looks like
you
a
can
nice.
find one or two old ones because I think this was like a way out of the way kind of weekend homes for some people in Dallas. But that was like
Because they wanted to be close to the lake,
years
right?
and years and years ago. Yeah, exactly. They wanted to be close to the lake.
Mm.
So there's a lot of diversity and there's a lot of nice homes in Flower Mound. And it's really close to Highland Village in Louisville. So, and the school district is actually the Louisville School District that encompasses Louisville, Flower Mound, and Highland Village, and Double Oak, which is a little tiny town right there too.
Here's Double Oak.
Yep,
And
right
then we've
there,
got,
little tiny town.
where's, what is,
The
okay, there's
mound is going to
Louisville.
be
Double Oak.
close to 24.99 and 30.40. You let's see.
The Flower Mound.
Somewhere
Little-
somewhere over here I think would be the mound, but I'm not sure
The
if you get it
Mound.
bigger, maybe we can see it.
The Mound.
The mound. Yeah.
Mound in Flower. Okay, we'll zoom in. You said it was where?
24.99 and so a little more to 24.99 and
There's Cross Timbers. Long Prairie, is that 24.99?
yes, Long Prairie, and then the other one is 30.40. So no, go down,
Go down.
go down because the Market Street is right there, so it should be somewhere.
There's 24. Okay, there's
Yeah.
24.99. There's Flower Mound Road.
So Culver's right there, and
Okay.
like yeah, Flower Mound Road. There it is. So where's the mound?
They don't even have it on
They
Google
don't even
Maps.
have it on the map. Oh my God, that's weird because it's right there next to the. There used to be a grocery store right there in that corner, and it's not there. Oh well, it's okay.
COVID shut
Not
down
even
the
a green
flower
space in the map. Whatever. I guess they care more
Okay.
about lakes. I don't know because there's not. I mean, there's golf courses, but there's not a lot of like green. Like in Plano, there's a big green space that you can go walk around, and here I think it's mostly closer to Highland Village Lake, and I mean, there's parks
Here's Highland
everywhere.
Village. We've got Double Oak, Copper
Yep.
Canyon. We've
Yeah,
got Lantana up here,
yeah,
Martinville.
yeah,
So,
everything's close together.
mhm. And there's Trophy Club. There's Westlake. There's Roanoke. I mean, you're just, I
Yeah.
mean, literally,
Yeah.
it looks like it's kind of grabbing. It looks like a hand, it's like long
Yeah.
and skinny and it looks like a hand.
Yeah,
It has a Texas Presbyterian Hospital, like
it's
you said,
long.
several parks, maybe just a handful of golf courses. You've got the Tour 18, and I think there's one more in
Bridlewood.
Bridlewood.
Has a golf course. Yes.
Okay.
And that's a really nice community too. It's like a master plan.
Master
Bridalwood and Wellington would be the big master plan
Wellington.
communities in Flower Mound. Yes.
And where do prices start over there as far as
Oh,
Bridalwood?
500,000.
500,000 and then go
Yeah.
up from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
then there's brand new construction in Highland Village, and that
Hmm.
but that starts at 700,000.
Okay. Well, we'll
Yeah.
get there in just a minute.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
tell us a little bit more about what are some. Let's look at things to do
Yeah,
in.
things to Flower Mound.
Just type everything
There's
here.
Lakeside. They also have a community center that's pretty nice with the pool and the lazy river, and there's a lot of lake activities, of course. Let's see, the first one was the one I was telling you, number
Twin
one.
Coast. Oh,
Now, number one is the CAC water park, the community center water park.
oh,
And
okay.
no pictures. Oh goodness.
You know what? We're gonna improvise. I'm sure they
Mm.
need to get rid of this. Okay. So where's the CAC water park? Is it on this map, maybe?
It
I
should be
zoom
run.
in.
It's closer to
Like there's Marcus
um,
on the north side.
it's closer to Grapevine. So 121. No, the other way. I'm so
Other way.
sorry.
You're
Yeah,
okay.
like Lakes. It's really close to Lakeside. So yeah,
Really close to
go
Lakeside. Okay.
go
Here's Lakeside
there.
right
The
here.
Flower Mound Park and Recreation right there. Heritage. The green's
Okay.
there.
Okay. This is the CA where the CAC is.
I think. Yeah, I think
Howard
it's right
Heritage
there.
Park. Here we go. Yeah, I
No,
think
it's
this is
not.
the one I've been to.
It's behind there. It's somewhere around there. It's all together, all bunched up together.
Yeah, I've been, I don't know. Yeah, I've been to this one. And it's got the playground. This is Heritage Park.
Oh yeah,
And you
but
said
that's
they've
the
got
that's
trails,
the
they got
playground right behind
auditorium.
it with trails and all that. Yeah, that's the only, I think, big green area.
Okay. Is it this
Mhm.
building maybe right next to it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no.
No.
That's pretty. Ooh, they got a disc golf course over there too. If you
Yeah,
play disc golf, that would be a nice thing to do.
yeah, they have that's a really good space to go and just walk around. They have neat stuff, and they also have a dog park really close to that area right there.
Oh, yeah, because I've been over. This is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
They have it done up really nice. All
Yeah.
right, this is it's over here. But it's the Parks and Recs.
Mm-hmm. Park and
There's just no
recreation.
pictures. You
There's
need
no
to go take
pictures.
some pictures and tag
I
them or
know, I know, I need to do that. And then there's Twinkle Park, and that's close to the lake, and that's really nice. They have there's also a restaurant there that you can just sit and watch,
something.
the lake.
Kayaking, it looks like you can
A lot
buy.
of water activities. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find Twin Coves on this map. Is it close to?
Oh, see, I don't know if it's in the
But
Louisville
look at
Lake
all the
or in
trails. I mean, people need to know. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, there is a lot of trails close to the
tons of
lake.
trails.
Tons
that
of
are-
trails close to the lake. Everything revolves. I mean, it's really close to the lake. There's Twin Coast Park right there, and right there, up there.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. Okay, we got some more pictures we can kind of look at
Yep.
here. Too. I don't know what. That's just kind of a random picture.
I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
there's
it's the
cabins that you can
campgrounds.
rent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
there's
cabins you can
campgrounds over
rent.
there. Okay, okay,
That
now
is
I
really
know.
cool.
So this is very popular for Boy Scouts.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of them go out camping.
Yeah, it is.
Over on this side of town, and you're right by the lake, close to facilities, bathrooms, got parks. The disc golf course is over there too. Really, I've never been. No, I know, Martha. I've never been over here. And I lived over there for close to this place for 5 years.
Oh, I've been like twice, so don't worry. I mean, it's like I'm not a
But
lake person, so it's okay.
yeah, but I mean, lots of
No, yeah, there is a lot of things to do.
trails.
Yep,
It looks like there's some housing over here too,
there is.
over by the lake.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of little peninsulas that have nice houses that
Mm,
look at the lake. So, but yeah, those are nice.
there's Twin Coves right there. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And
And
also
then
too. Oh, go ahead.
they have two high schools, Flower
Yep.
Mound High School and Marcus High School, that serve Flower Mound kids. Um, and they are also really good rated schools in Flower Mound. I mean, those two high schools are great, and most of their elementary schools are really have really great ratings as well.
Oh, it's not Flower. It's Louisville ISD. Sorry,
Yeah, it's Louisville ISD.
Louisville. If I can spell Lewisville. Independent School District. Okay. So we've got. See, it says this is misleading because 12 high schools is not right because they're counting the freshman campuses.
Yes,
But
it's very this one is big because there's Louisville High School, and then the Colony High School,
the Colony and
Carrollton. It is a big school district. Yeah.
Oh, and Castle Hills was just annexed into Louisville. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you did. Oh, of course you did because you live over there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and so that's why it's they say have that many, and yeah, of course they're probably counting the.
Here we go.
The ninth grade campuses as well as that in that number.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, very top rated 10 out of 10 for Bluebonnet, Bridalwood, Liberty, Gardner Ridge, Timber Creek, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, Wellington Elementary. I mean, so there's lots of good Donald Elementary.
Yep.
Lots of good options for elementary schools.
And then there's also charter schools that are smaller that are good around here.
And
I mean,
Founders, right?
Yeah.
What is it? A very popular one that a lot of my friends have their
Founders,
kids at
Classical Academy.
Founders, yes.
There's two Founders, one in Louisville and one in Flower Mound. So
okay,
yeah.
So
that one that's another option for people that want a smaller school.
Correct. They want that small community, small town feel, but they don't want the big Primrose Temple. There's Montessori schools. Let's see. Yeah, lots of different options.
Yeah, lots of options for sure.
Okay, let's look at the middle schools as far as ratings. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So also top rated middle schools. My kid would have gone to, I think they would have gone to Lamar. I don't know. I don't even remember anymore.
Probably.
Oh, but this is Flower Mound, actually.
Yeah, it's Flower Mound, yeah.
Sorry. It'd be another part of town. All right. And then we've got 2 high schools. I know it says differently, but there's 2 high schools. They've got Flower Mound and Marcus. Both campuses are in Flower Mound.
Yes.
And do those have the they have the freshmen split
They have
up?
a 9th grade campus right next to it. Yeah. So it's like they're one next to each other. Yes.
Okay. So you've got the freshman campus.
Freshman campus right next door, and they have great band programs, football, of course, sports programs. They're good at that. You know, the other day somebody sent me, they went to a band competition, and both Flower Mound and Marcus were in the top 5 in just, I think, in the area. I mean, in the DFW area. Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's
I was pretty good. Yeah, it's huge.
They're competitive.
They're competitive. Yes, they are, and against each other too. So it's fun.
Something else I also want to mention about the schools too that a lot of people might not know about, since I've had little kids in there recently. So my little kids, so Max, my oldest, went all the way up until 3rd grade there before we moved. At the 3rd grade level, they were teaching water safety, and they actually. They do this with all the elementary schools. There's an aquatic center that's close by. They will literally bus all the elementary school kids there once a week and teach them water safety at the aquatic center. And then afterwards, the instructors will give you an evaluation for what level your child's at. Now that was so cool. And it was such a cool outside experience
for them to leave the school and go do that. They've done it for a really long time.
I was very, very impressed with that. I also liked that so one of my friends is very, very into the bilingual programs that they offer there.
They do have 2 schools or 3 that have bilingual programs. Yeah.
Right. And you can have it's like the immersion, right? And
Mhm.
so from what she was telling me, it's like one day they teach in English, the next day they teach in Spanish, and then the next
Yep.
day it's English, and it kind of
Yep.
goes back and forth.
Yep.
And her kids have gone through that. Now, her kids primarily spoke English growing up, but
Mhm.
just the fact that you can have your child immersed in a
Yeah.
different language,
It is really
you know,
cool.
vice
Yeah.
versa, it's really cool.
It is really cool.
Especially if
Yeah.
their first language is Spanish, you can do it. It
Mhm.
benefits them the same
Benefits
way.
them 100%. Yes. Yeah.
And did you have kids that went through that immersion process, or did they just go to regular?
When my kids were younger, that they did not have that immersion. And
Oh,
so, yeah, we
yeah.
missed it like by 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
Okay.
my kids got to high school and it was too late. So, yeah, no, my kids, but I mean, I speak with them Spanish at home most of the time. So
Okay.
they're pretty bilingual.
Already.
Yeah, but what I miss is that I mean, I don't have the patience to teach them to write, and read that much. And I know those programs are teaching the kids to do that. So it's really cool. And I'm bummed that we were, they were too old for that. So, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. But,
My friend was telling me about it, and she was just like she was
yeah,
all about it, and she
it's
was just
really
like, I
cool.
want to have my kids here, and because of this reason, and
It is.
um,
It is a good. I mean, it's something if you want that bilingual for your kids, something to consider for sure.
yeah, yeah. And I didn't personally teach in the Louisville ISD district, but I co-taught with a woman who had previously been with Louisville ISD, and she had nothing but great things to say about the district. And then actually, the principal at the elementary school that my kids went
Went
to
to
there in Louisville ISD, she actually lives in McKinney, and I ran into her. I
the other
was
day.
like, I didn't know you lived over in. She's like, oh,
Doing
I'm
here.
over in Stonebridge in McKinney. Like
Wow,
small worlds, small
long
world.
drive. Yeah, yeah. No, it is. It is a really good school district, and it's big, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap up here. Did we talk about everything? I'm looking over some of
I
my notes. We talked about the schools, and we
Mhm.
didn't talk about the tax rates too much.
Mm-mm.
New construction, you said, is there new construction opportunities in Flower Mound?
There is in Flower Mound. There's very little pockets left, but
Mm,
there's some. If you're headed to 35W, right? There's maybe some. There's like
let's take a look. I'm gonna pull up newhomesource.com, and
Yeah,
we're gonna
there's
kind of
some,
take a look.
maybe the name is Canyon Falls. There's some
Okay.
there still, but not much. And then there's some brand new in Highland Village, like north of the Highland Village shops right there. That's another neat place where the kids can just walk
Oh
around.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, and let's see, update. Hang on, I'm trying to get this. Okay, let's share my screen and we'll show you the new construction, then we'll call it a day. So we want to add,
Mhm.
okay, this button. All right, oop, there we go. We got to figure it out. My brain was a little bit scrambled. Okay,
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
so
there's
these are
Southgate is
townhomes.
closer to Grapevine. And
Okay.
then there's, how long we talk about Flowerman being long. So kind of
Mhm.
south east, it's the South Lake, the Southgate area. And then
So
over
where's
closer,
Southgate? Is it like right here in this
yeah, close to the
borderline?
Home Depot. Right there,
Close to the Home Depot.
right
Okay.
there.
So
Really
that's where
close.
this is where the townhomes are going in, because it
Yeah,
CPG
that's
is
where the
the
townhomes are going.
townhomes are there.
Yeah, they're
And then
probably
we've
all
got,
about to be sold out. I mean, there's not a lot left,
okay,
lots, but there's some.
okay.
And then there's Canyon Falls, which is closer to 35 and the other side of town, like the long way. Um,
We're
that's
going a
Canyon.
different, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen and I don't see
I
Canyon
don't
Falls,
see
but I
Canyon
know they
Falls.
do have some still available, not that many. Or
Has to be.
Harvest too. Harvest, did we pass Harvest?
I'm sorry, I'm just looking for Canyon Falls.
Yeah,
They're
no, it's
talking
okay.
about it. We
No,
can
no,
tell them
no.
about it here. I'll go to the map and we can kind
Yeah,
of see
yeah,
it in
there's
here.
there's Canyon Falls, there's Harvest, but Harvest is more, I think, now into North Lake, which is really Kind of close to Argyle. You know, they're
Okay,
all together.
where's Canyon Falls at again?
Canyon Falls is passing through 18. You keep going on 170, 1171. So you see 1171, it touches to 18. And then, yeah, Canyon Falls is right there in 377, right there in that intersection.
Okay. Is it over
Somewhere
here,
in there.
Pepper
Yep.
Creek? This looks like new
That's
as well.
another one that's close by. Yeah.
And those look like pretty big lots. Are those like
Those are
luxury?
really big lots. Those are big houses and
Wow.
up
Okay.
to $1 million.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this one,
Yeah.
and then
I'm
and that's
surprised
over
Canyon
where
Falls doesn't
this is
show up.
close to. So a lot of the new construction's on the west
Yeah.
side. It looks
Yeah.
like closer to
On the left.
377,
Yes.
close to Argyle. There's Argyle right here.
Yep.
Okay. So it's closer to that part of Flower Mound.
Yep. And it's actually part of it is North Lake ISD.
Okay. Okay. So that's good to know as well. So if you are looking in let me go back here.
Yep.
If you are looking in Flower Mound, a lot of this section is North Lake.
ISD. North Lake or North Lake, yeah.
Okay.
North Lake ISD.
Which is also, I believe, they're rated pretty well as
yeah, it's really well rated as well.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we've got Town Lake at Flower Mound. This looks like a Toll Brothers community. Do you know anything about?
Yeah, but that's maybe it's close to the recreation center, the CAC.
Well, if it's Town Lake, oh, I thought I saw Town Lake.
Close to the lake, but yeah, or maybe close to Home Depot. I don't have them exactly where they each are, but
yeah, I'm guessing it's probably over here
somewhere
too.
around there. Yes, somewhere.
Because this is where the harbor is,
southwest,
where all the entertainment
Yeah.
is over right along Long Prairie here.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yep.
Yeah. Because if we zoom in a little bit more, people can kind of see, like, this movie house is over here. I mean, this is all like there's a lot of apartments.
Lakeside is a nice little place to go eat and just go. They have concerts some Friday nights, and you can bring your chair, and that's in Lakeside right there. And that's where they have also some new construction. Not a lot.
Not a lot. Okay, so we're very limited.
We're limited,
probably in higher price points.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Higher price points.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that sounds amazing. Thank you for telling us about Flower Mound. I spoke about Allen, and we're going to talk about some more cities later. I'll have to have you back, Martha.
Sounds good. Yes. Thanks for inviting me. And yes, I'm happy to share.
Yeah. So are you, so where can people connect with you if they are wanting to look on more of the Flower Mound side of town on that northwest corner of North Dallas?
Well, they can shoot me an email or give me a call if you want.
Or they can reach out to me and I'll give you Martha's information.
Yes, exactly right. That sounds also a good plan.
If you need someone who speaks Spanish, Martha is a very good Spanish speaker.
Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. I really do. It was really nice chatting with you, and I had a blast.
Awesome. Well, I know you got to get to that friend's birthday party or say hello to someone who has a birthday.
Yes, friend's birthday party. Yep. Yeah.
And thank you guys for hanging out with us. And we hope to share some more cities with you at another date and time. Have a good one, guys.